for France's constitutional watchdog, the Conseil constitutionnel.
Now, utterly delighted by this next story, and the timing of it perfect as well. Aujourd'hui en France looks at the health benefits of complaining.
That's right. Râler fait du bien. Complaining is very good for you, according to Aujourd'hui en France. It says that, well, it's very healthy, and perhaps this is why French people live to be so old, because it's kind of a national sport here in France. Aujourd'hui en France points out that according to specialists across the world, it's better to let things out than keep them pent up inside. It says that this is a way to trigger change. Now, yesterday a lot of people were voicing a lot of their anger. Didn't feel like they were calling for that much change, though, so...
Very true. It's rubbish, your press review, by the way, Flo. Moving on to another story. At Cyprus, French papers reacting to the bailout deal.
That's right. Now, Libération points out that, well, Europe wants to close the casino. And in their editorial, Libération says, here we go again. Here's another ultimatum. Here's another dramatic bailout. But what's staggering about this is just how long this crisis is lasting and just how inadequate the European response is to it. Les Echos also calls the situation worrying and sad. And it says that whatever the outcome is of this tragic comedy, as it calls it, well, the result will be disastrous for the Eurozone. This episode shows how powerless the European institutions are. They've been brought to their knees by a tiny little island. And what's worse still, according to Les Echos, is the fact that the EU has come across as looking like the bad guy. The EU has come across as looking like it's torturing Cyprus, when really Cyprus was pretty responsible for what happened to it, according to Les Echos.
And finally, Rue 89, Rue 89, an interesting photo series comparing Paris today to Paris 1941.
That's right. This is a great link, by the way. You should definitely check it out. It's kind of like a time machine through the streets of Paris. And, for instance, here you see Rue Saint-Denis. That was in 1914. And here is Rue Saint-Denis today.
Just last week. Fantastic.
Exactly. And if you look closely, it hasn't actually changed that much, Rue Saint-Denis. But there are all sorts of other pictures that have been taken in the exact same spot 100 years later. This is Rue d'Aboukir. It's a little bit nicer now. There are trees. There used to not be so many trees. And then Porte d'Austerlitz, if we take a look. Yeah, here we go. It's very different nowadays. As you can see, there are fewer boats and
not so pretty.
A lot of sky rises that weren't there before.
Excellent. Flo, thank you very much, Florence Villemot. I'll never complain about your paper review again, I promise, OK? Here on France 24. Now then, let's move on to another news story for you now, and they're known as cannabis social clubs, groups of people who grow the plants and share the results between themselves without any financial transaction. Today, though, some of them here in France